The nightclub was full of life. The music was playing at full volume. The neon lights were flickering brightly. People were dancing, having fun, and forgetting everything. Everything around seemed to be absorbed in noise and movement. But amidst this chaos, there was something unusual. One of the club's visitors stood at the bar, sipping a cocktail and carefully watching what was going on. She wasn't looking for adventure, but something caught her eye. Someone, quite tiny, seemed a real rarity in the mass of people. She almost didn't notice it until it clutched at the edge of her purse. A small silhouette, barely visible among the crowd. He was barely bigger than the palm of her hand, with a frightened expression and a clearly lost look on his face. He looked human, but shrunken. Clearly something strange had happened to him. His small feet barely touched the floor and his hair was disheveled with worry. She leaned over, scrutinizing him in surprise, and pulled out her purse, covering it with the palm of her hand. It was like some weird joke or sci-fi movie, but he was real. Real. Frighteningly small but alive. "Are you okay?" She almost didn't say the words, realizing that everyone around her wouldn't hear, but he seemed to understand. His eyes met her gaze and he nodded slightly. "What happened to you?" She whispered again, but this time as if realizing it wasn't just an accident. He gestured that he had been reduced. One moment, and now his world was completely different. Not knowing what to do, she took him to her house. Her house was quiet and cozy, and despite the strangeness of the situation, at this moment she felt excitement rather than fear. In the hour in her house, he seemed to have calmed down a bit, but he still couldn't believe what was happening. She offered him a cup of water, covered him with a small plaid as if caring for a small pet, and laid him down on a soft pillow to rest. He felt utterly helpless and confused, but in a strange way, he felt at ease around her. Maybe it was the concern in her eyes, or just the reassurance she gave him. He couldn't yet figure out what would happen next, but in that moment, he knew one thing. He wasn't alone. She grabbed him again, placed him gently in the palm of her hand, and shook him in the air, smiling. "You don't think you have a chance, do you?" Her eyes sparkled with mockery, and her voice was full of cynical amusement. "You're just a toy, aren't you? Just a little toy." She ran her fingers slowly down his body, as if enjoying watching him panic. It seemed that his suffering only amused her. Her laughter echoed through the room as he tried to move her hand, but it was no use. She was just playing with him like a little creature that had forgotten its place in this world. This whole evening was just a game to her. A nightmare to him. The girl continued to taunt him, testing his patience, his boundaries. But in her eyes, it was an amusing challenge. For him, it was a moment of fear and powerlessness.